Sky coming to you with another video, and in this video we'll be doing my foundation routine. I get asked all the time about my foundation routine and things that I use and what do I use and how do you apply and how do you know your shade. So right now I'm going to go ahead and answer all those questions and just give you what I do for my foundation routine. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing you need to know about foundation is to skin prep. Flawless foundation comes from your skin prep. Skin prep is dealing with skincare and what you use before you put on your foundation. So for me, what I use to cleanse my face is I use this cleanser right here. This is from Cetaphil. That's how you say it? Yes, Cetaphil. It's their daily facial cleanser for normal to oily skin. I do have normal skin. I live in California, so the dry air tends to make my skin dry. So this right here just cleans my face really nicely. It's not harsh. It doesn't break me out. I love this right here. The next step is moisturizer. When it comes to moisturizer, it depends on when you're doing your makeup. If you're doing your makeup during the day or at night. If you're doing your makeup during the day and it's sunny and it's hot, you want to use a moisturizer with SPF in it. I don't care if you're a brown skin girl. I don't care what it is. You want to protect your skin. So I ordered the Fenty, and if you haven't watched my review on that, I will have it linked so that you can click on it. But right now, if I'm going out during the day, then I'll moisturize my face using this moisturizer right here because it's moisturizing and it also has SPF. I think it's SPF 30 in this. So this is what I would use if I'm doing makeup during the day. Now, if I'm doing makeup and it's night, then I'm just going to use my normal moisturizer, which is the Cetaphil. This is their moisturizing lotion. It's for body and face, and it's all skin types. I love this moisturizer. These two together is why my skin is so flawless. And they're from Target, and they're really cheap, like $15 each. And they work like wonderful. That's why my skin is so like nice and radiant because of these two products. So if I'm going out and it's the nighttime and I'm doing my makeup, I'll just put this on my face. So because it's daytime, I'm going to use the Fenty. I already cleansed my face, and so if you already do that, then just go into the step. Most of the time you do your makeup, you'll just jump right into moisturizer. And I already did my eyebrows, and I put on just a light brown shadow because this is what I normally would do. I always do my eyes and my eyebrows first, and then I go into my base. So that's why they're already done. Next step is your primer. Primer creates a barrier to protect your skin from the foundation. It's like a skincare. It helps to hide those imperfections, fill in those pores, mattify your face if you're oily. So your primer is going to determine on your skin tone. If you're oily, you want to use primers that are matte, not too matte, especially if you're going to use a matte foundation on top, but just matte enough where it holds that shine in. You can also use the powder effect. Most people put powder on their face and then foundation. That helps as well. If you're dry, you want to go with the hydrating primers that are going to hydrate your skin, especially if you're going to use a matte foundation. And if you're normal, you could just do what you want to do. So you've probably seen these before, but the two I love to use are these two right here. This is from Wet n Wild. This is their hydrating serum, and this is from Too Faced. This is from their Hangover X Replenish Face Primer. These two together are like a dry girl dream, okay? They moisturize my face, and I love them. What I like to use first is the serum because it's like skincare. It's like another step in moisturizing. Then I'll go in with the Too Faced. As you can see, my face is moisturized and it's hydrated and it feels really good. So my application is going to be smooth. The next step is color correcting. Color correcting is if you have dark spots or if you have red spots like around your nose. Women of color tend to have more dark spots. So I use this Makeup Forever right here. This is their Makeup Forever. It's like a concealer. It's their color corrector. So I use this on my dark areas, which tend to be around my mouth. And you can also spot conceal with this. So if you have dark marks from pimples, you can take some and you can just dab it on there like that. Like if you have a pimple, you could just dab it on there and then take your finger and just pat it around. That way when you put that foundation on top, it won't It won't look gray in those areas. I normally use a brush, but right now I'm just going to use my fingers just to tap it out. You can use whatever you normally use, a beauty blender, a brush, whatever you use, but I don't feel like getting my brush, so I'm just going to use my finger to tap that out. Now from here, you're ready for your foundation. So, your foundation. People ask me, how do you match yourself? How do you know your color? When it comes to matching your foundation, you need to understand undertone. You need to find your undertone. There's red undertones. There's olive undertones. There's warm undertones. There's neutral. So you need to understand, what are you? I'm leaning on the neutral side with a little bit of warm. So I can get away with a neutral foundation sometimes, or I can get away with a warm. It just depends on the undertone. And when you're trying to find out your match, you never match your face. Your face is always lighter than the rest of your body. What you match is your chest and your neck. Or sometimes, like darker skinned women, their necks are darker than their chest. Or sometimes just women of color, period, your neck can tend to be darker than your chest. So if you're going into a store or anything like that and they're matching you, make sure they're matching your chest. They're not matching your face, they're matching your chest. Because this is your real color and this is what the rest of your upper body looks like. So just to give you like a test, you can test it like this. Just take it on your chest. You can take like a beauty blender, your finger, whatever you have, and just dab it on your chest like that. Kind of bring it up your neck. You can bring it up to your face right here, just to give you a test of, is this gonna match? If it matches your chest, it's gonna match your face, period. Because once you put that foundation on, and if your foundation is lighter than your chest, or it's darker than your chest, you're gonna look crazy. Foundation, also, you need to know your skin type. Are you dry? Are you normal? Are you oily? This is the determining factor. Because if you are a dry girl trying to wear a matte foundation, it's going to look cakey. It's going to look flaky. It's not going to look flawless. It's not going to look seamless. It's going to look crazy. If you are a oily girl and you're wearing radiant, hydrating foundations, it's going, at the end of the day, you're going to look like an oil bath. Because your oils are coming out and it's mixing with that hydrating foundation. It's going to look like an oily mess. So this is why you need to get a good primer to your skin type, and your foundation also needs to be to your skin type. For today's video, I'm going to use this foundation right here. I also did a review on this, so I'll link that above so you can watch that. I'm in the shade 155. I'm just going to take some. I'm going to put it on my skin. To blend out foundation, you can use a brush, or you can use a sponge, or you can use both. I use both when I feel like the brush has left streaks and I go in and tap it in, or I just like to go in and tap it in. So that preference up to you. Just know that with the brush, you tend to get more coverage. With the sponge, you tend to get less coverage. So if you want more coverage, use the brush. If you want less coverage, use the sponge. So I'm going to go in with my brush, and I'm just going to blend that foundation out. You want to make sure you put it on your ears, especially if you're going to wear your hair up in a ponytail, or even if you're going to wear it down. You never know. You just want to make sure that all areas are covered. So I go ahead, put that on my ear. Now for me, I don't like a heavy layer on my face because, as you can see, I don't have blemishes. I don't need a heavy coat. And this is what I would suggest for you guys, is don't load your face with a lot of foundation. If you're going to highlight, if you're going to cream contour, powder, all of that blush, like that's going to add up on your face. So if you don't need that extra coverage from the foundation, don't put it. Just put a very light layer on your face. You want to make sure you blend it down your neck. And if you have your chest out, you want to blend it down your chest. Don't worry about it getting on things. What I find is most of the time my foundations don't really transfer on my clothes. I mean, if you're just like doing the most, then I guess. But most of the time I don't find foundation really on my clothes. And then sometimes if I want to really shear things out, I take it on my hand like this, and then I'll just shear it out with the brush. Because like I said, I just like a light layer. Light layer. And I don't really bring it under my eyes because once you're going to highlight and things like that, you don't need to. But for the sake of this video, this is just about foundation. So I'm not going to highlight and contour. I just want to show you guys my foundation routine. So I'm going to kind of take it under my eyes. Just gently. You want to be gentle with your under eyes. You don't want to tug or really pull. Just kind of pat that under there. I don't really put a lot on my forehead because my forehead is small. And when it comes to putting other products on top, I don't really like to cake it up with a bunch of stuff. I like to build up. I like to start with little and build up from there. If you put on a lot on your face, then and you don't like it and it's hard to blend it out, it's just, you're going to have to take it off, or I don't know how you're going to do that. But that's why I always start with a little and then I build it up. Now I'll go in with the sponge. This is optional. Some people like the brush and they're fine. For me, I just like to make sure that it is all blended and it's in there and there's no streaks. And also the coverage on this foundation is light to medium, so that's why you can still see my freckles, because I don't really like full coverage foundations. I don't really need them. But if you like full coverage, then you'll find a foundation with full coverage, medium coverage, or light coverage. Now, for the longevity of makeup period, you need setting powder. Setting powder is the reason why your makeup lasts so long. This is why most people bake or they just lightly press. Either way, powder is going to help you. It's going to help to keep that foundation on there. It's going to help it from running, things like that. So this is Laura Mercier translucent powder. You can take a sponge, dip it into the powder, dip it lightly, and then you could just press it on your face. Work in light layers. This powder is finely milled. Like, look how it just melts. Like, look how it just melts into your foundation. This powder is it's everything. I'm just placing that, just pouting it all over so that my foundation will stick and it will not budge throughout the day. So to go ahead and complete the look, like I said, I'm not going to do what I normally would do. I'm going to keep this just all about the foundation, but I wanted to add something. So I just went ahead and put some blush on my cheeks. This is California from Benefit. I use this mascara from MAC. This will be listed below. And I'm just going to add some gloss. This is from NYX. Just some gloss on my lips just to give my lips something. And to go ahead and finish off the look, you always use setting spray, whether you do the whole shebang or just foundation. I'm going to use this setting spray from Morphe. Ooh, that feels so good. That's just going to go ahead and set everything and lock everything in so that my foundation will not move. This is my foundation routine. I hope that you guys like it. It's very simple. It's good for beginners. Even if you're not a beginner, you just like simple routines. This is a very simple routine. Yes, I really, really like it. It holds up. This is what I do. I do not switch it up when it comes to my foundation routine, when it comes to my skin prep. So I know, one, it's going to last you all day. It's not going to really transfer anywhere or be everywhere. Even if you hug somebody, like this, it's not going to really get on them. So I stick to this and I stand by this. I really want to keep it simple for the girls who just wear foundation. But I hope you guys like it, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And until next time, bye-bye. And if you stayed this long, you might as well go ahead and subscribe and watch this video right here and become part of my family.